Ladies and gentlemen, as the dawn of a new year approaches, there is one question you must ask yourself: what is holding me back? Most people will point to external circumstances, lack of time, resources, or opportunity. But let me tell you this: the greatest obstacle in your life is not out there, it's within you. Fear is the invisible chain that keeps you tied to mediocrity. It whispers that you are not enough, that the world is too big, and that your dreams are too far-fetched. But let me remind you, fear is a liar. It exists only in your mind, and it grows stronger the more you believe in it. If you want 2025 to be your year, you must confront this truth: you are the creator of your reality. What you allow in your mind becomes the life you live. If you let fear occupy your thoughts, it will build walls around your potential. But if you dare to believe in your vision, those walls will crumble. Let us go deeper. How does fear manifest? It shows up as doubt. You doubt your abilities, your worth, and your power to change. But doubt is the enemy of creation. To manifest the life you desire, you must replace doubt with faith in your vision, faith in the unseen, and most importantly, faith in yourself. Understand this: everything you need is already within you. You don't need permission from the world to succeed. The only permission you need is from yourself. Give yourself that gift today. Now let's talk about the power of your imagination. Whatever you vividly imagine and believe in becomes your reality. When you close your eyes and see yourself living your dream, feeling it with every fiber of your being, you set into motion the forces that bring it to life. So what will you imagine for 2025? Will you see yourself as someone who hesitates, or will you see yourself as someone who takes bold steps forward? The choice is yours. Do not let fear, doubt, or hesitation hold you back. The power is in your hands to create a year that reflects the greatness within you. The world is not waiting to give you a chance. It's waiting for you to claim what is already yours. The world you see is a reflection of the story you tell yourself. This truth is both simple and profound. If you perceive the world as hostile, full of obstacles, and lacking in opportunity, you will live in a reality that echoes those beliefs. But if you view life as abundant, full of possibility, and unfolding in your favor, that is the reality you will experience. This is not just a philosophical notion, it is the key to transforming your life. Your perception shapes your reality. Perception is more than just the way you interpret events, it is the lens through which you experience every aspect of your existence. The mind operates like a mirror, reflecting back the images, emotions, and beliefs you consistently hold within. Think of it this way: your thoughts are seeds, and your mind is fertile ground. Whatever seeds you plant, whether they are of abundance or lack, joy or despair, will grow and shape the landscape of your life. If you believe the world is against you, your mind will find evidence to support that belief, even in neutral circumstances. On the other hand, if you believe the universe is conspiring for your good, you will begin to see opportunities where others see roadblocks. The power of perception lies in its ability to dictate your responses. Two people can experience the same event, yet interpret it in entirely different ways. One sees failure and stops trying, the other sees a lesson and grows stronger. It is not the event that defines them, but the story they tell about it. This is why shifting your inner narrative is so crucial. The story you tell yourself about who you are, what you are capable of, and what the world is like will become the foundation of your reality. Changing your perception requires an intentional effort to rewrite the script running in your mind. For many, this script has been shaped by past experiences, societal expectations, and inherited beliefs. These narratives often operate subconsciously, influencing decisions, actions, and emotions without your awareness. For example, if you've been told that success is reserved for a select few, you might unconsciously limit yourself from pursuing your dreams. But once you recognize that this belief is not a universal truth, you gain the power to replace it with a new narrative, one that serves you rather than hinders you. To shift your perception, start by becoming aware of the stories you tell yourself. Pay attention to the thoughts that arise when you face challenges or consider new opportunities. Are they empowering, or do they reinforce fear and doubt? Awareness is the first step in breaking free from limiting beliefs. Once you've identified the stories that no longer serve you, begin to question them. Ask yourself, is this belief absolutely true? More often than not, you will find that these beliefs are based on assumptions rather than facts. As you challenge old narratives, replace them with new ones that align with the reality you want to create. If you've been telling yourself that you're not good enough, start affirming your worth and capabilities. If you've been focusing on scarcity, shift your attention to the abundance around you, no matter how small it may seem at first. This process is not about ignoring reality, but about choosing to focus on possibilities rather than limitations. Visualization is a powerful tool for reshaping your perception. When you close your eyes and imagine the life you desire, you activate the creative power of your mind. The more vividly you can see and feel this new reality, the more your mind begins to accept it as true. This is because your subconscious cannot distinguish between imagination and actual experience. By consistently visualizing your desired outcome, you train your mind to seek out opportunities and solutions that align with your vision. Another essential aspect of shifting your perception is gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have, creating a sense of abundance and contentment. When you approach life with gratitude, you begin to see blessings in places you once overlooked. This doesn't mean ignoring challenges, but rather recognizing that even difficulties carry lessons and opportunities for growth. Gratitude transforms your perception of the present moment, making it a fertile ground for positive change. The outer world is malleable, shaped by the energy you bring to it. When you change your inner narrative, your actions naturally align with your new beliefs. You begin to carry yourself differently, speak with more confidence, and make decisions that reflect your elevated perception of yourself and the world. This shift in energy attracts circumstances, people, and opportunities that resonate with your new state of being. It is important to remember that perception is not a one-time shift but an ongoing practice. Life will continue to present challenges, and old patterns may resurface. But each moment offers a choice to fall back into limiting narratives or to consciously choose a perspective that empowers you. With practice, choosing the latter becomes second nature. Your perception is the compass that guides your journey. When you align it with the reality you want to create, life begins to unfold in ways that reflect your inner transformation. The world is not fixed, it is a mirror that responds to the way you see it. Shift your inner narrative, and your external world will follow suit. In doing so, you unlock the limitless potential that has always been within you. Fear thrives in the shadows of uncertainty. It whispers, what if you fail? What if you're not good enough? What if things don't go as planned? These questions are like chains, binding you to the familiar, even when the familiar no longer serves you. Yet when you examine fear closely, you see that it is hollow. It is not the event itself that causes fear, but your interpretation of it. The unknown is not inherently dangerous, but your mind fills the void with imagined threats. Fear is a projection, not a reality. To break free from this prison, you must first recognize fear for what it is, a creation of your own mind. It is not an external force imposing itself upon you, it is an internal reaction to something you believe to be true. This realization is powerful because it shifts the locus of control from the external world to within yourself. If fear is created in your mind, it can also be dismantled there. The next step is to confront your fear directly. Avoidance only gives fear more power. When you avoid the things you fear, you reinforce the belief that they are too big, too overwhelming, or too dangerous to face. But when you meet fear head-on, you begin to see it for what it truly is, an illusion. The act of facing your fear, even in small steps, chips away at its foundation. Each time you confront it, you grow stronger, and fear grows weaker. Imagine a situation that frightens you. Perhaps it is speaking in public, pursuing a dream, or making a significant life change. When you look at it through the lens of fear, it feels impossible. But now imagine approaching it with curiosity instead of fear. Ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? And if it does, can I handle it more often than not? You will find that the worst case scenario is far less catastrophic than your fear would have you believe. And even if challenges arise, you possess the resilience to overcome them. Fear also has a peculiar way of masquerading as logic. It convinces you to stay small under the guise of being realistic. It tells you that risks are too high and that it's safer to stay where you are. But safety and growth cannot coexist. Growth requires stepping into the unknown, taking risks, and trusting that you are capable of navigating whatever comes your way. Fear would have you believe that staying in your comfort zone is the safer choice, but in reality it is the most dangerous. A life confined by fear is a life half-lived. Releasing fear does not mean eradicating it completely. Fear is a natural part of the human experience, and it will arise from time to time. The key is not to let it control you. Instead of resisting fear or pretending it doesn't exist, acknowledge it. Say, I see you, fear, but I will not let you make decisions for me. This simple act of acknowledgement takes away fear's power and allows you to move forward despite its presence. One of the most effective ways to release fear is to shift your focus. Fear thrives when you concentrate on what could go wrong. But when you redirect your attention to what could go right, fear loses its grip. Visualize yourself succeeding. Feel the joy, pride, and freedom that come with stepping into your potential. The more vividly you imagine this, the more real it becomes, and the less room there is for fear. Gratitude is another powerful antidote to fear. When you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, fear diminishes. Gratitude grounds you in the present moment, reminding you of your strength and the abundance already in your life. Fear, by contrast, is rooted in the future, a future that may never come to pass. By staying anchored in gratitude, you free yourself from the illusion of fear and step into the reality of your present power. Fear is the only prison because it confines you to a version of yourself that is smaller than who you truly are. It keeps you from exploring the vastness of your potential, from taking the risks that lead to growth, and from living a life that feels deeply fulfilling. But you hold the key to this prison. When you release fear, you step into the boundless possibilities that await you. The world opens up, not because it has changed, but because you have. You see opportunities where you once saw obstacles, and you move forward with the confidence that comes from knowing you are not bound by limitations. You are limitless, but to experience this truth, you must let go of fear. Do not let it hold you back from the life you are meant to live. The moment you choose to release it, you discover that the freedom you sought was always within you. The present moment is the only point of true power, the only space where creation unfolds. While the mind often wanders to the past with its memories, or to the future with its hopes and fears, the reality is that everything begins and ends in the now. The choices you make in this moment, the thoughts you hold, and the feelings you allow yourself to embrace are the seeds of your future. The life you desire is not waiting for you somewhere out there, it is being created here, in this very moment. Many people live as though the future will rescue them. They think, when I have more money, I'll be happy, or once I meet the right person, my life will improve, but the future is never something you can experience directly. It is always just beyond reach, like the horizon that recedes as you move toward it. What you call the future is simply the present moment that has yet to arrive. The way you meet this moment determines how the next unfolds. The conditions of tomorrow are planted in the soil of today. Your thoughts are powerful creative forces. Every thought carries energy, and this energy is like a blueprint shaping what is to come. A thought of abundance creates the conditions for abundance to flow into your life, while a thought of lack invites scarcity. It may seem subtle, but over time the repetition of these thoughts builds momentum. The mind works like a garden. Whatever seeds you plant and nurture will grow. If you plant seeds of worry, fear, or doubt, you will see a harvest of challenges. But if you plant seeds of faith, joy, and gratitude, you will cultivate a life of fulfillment and peace. Equally important are your feelings. Thoughts and emotions are intimately connected, with one influencing the other in an ongoing cycle. When you feel love, joy, or gratitude in this moment, you align yourself with the energy of your desires. This emotional state is not just a reaction to your environment, it is a signal you send out to the universe. By choosing how you feel now, you become a magnet for experiences that match that energy. For example, if you want a future filled with love, begin by feeling love in this moment, love for yourself, for others, and for life itself. But the present moment is often overlooked. The mind, ever restless, pulls you into the past with its regrets or to the future with its anxieties. This endless tug-of-war keeps you from fully experiencing the power of now. The past cannot be changed, and the future has yet to come. To dwell on either is to waste the creative potential of the present. When you bring your awareness back to this moment, you reclaim your power. Practicing mindfulness is one of the most effective ways to anchor yourself in the now. Mindfulness is the art of being fully present, of noticing what is happening within and around you without judgment. It can be as simple as taking a deep breath and feeling the air fill your lungs, or noticing the sensations in your body as you sit or stand. These small acts of awareness pull you out of the mind's chatter and into the reality of the present. In this space, you can choose your thoughts and emotions consciously rather than letting old patterns dictate them. Gratitude is another key to unlocking the power of the present moment. When you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, you shift your energy. Gratitude grounds you in the now and aligns you with abundance. It is a reminder that you are already supported, already whole, and already capable of creating the future you desire. Begin by finding just one thing to be grateful for in this moment of breath, a heartbeat, or the light of the sun, and let that feeling expand. Visualization also brings the future into the present. When you vividly imagine the life you want, you are not merely daydreaming, you are rehearsing that reality in the present moment. Your mind does not distinguish between what is vividly imagined and what is real. So by immersing yourself in the vision of your desired future, you begin to embody it now. This embodiment, this alignment of thought, emotion, and action sets the wheels of creation in motion. It is essential to remember that the present moment is not about perfection. Challenges will arise and doubts may surface. The goal is not to suppress these experiences, but to meet them with awareness. Even in moments of difficulty, you have the power to choose your response. A single moment of conscious decision can shift the trajectory of your life. Your future is not something distant and separate, it is an extension of this moment. When you realize this, you understand that you are not a victim of circumstance, but a creator of reality. How you think and feel right now is setting the stage for what comes next. Choose to see this moment as full of potential. Choose thoughts that uplift and inspire. Choose feelings that resonate with the life you wish to create. The present moment is a gift. It holds within it the power to transform your life, not through waiting, hoping, or wishing, but through deliberate and conscious creation. By aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the reality you desire, you step into the flow of life. You are no longer chasing the future, you are creating it. All of this begins in the now. Doubt is a thief that sneaks into the mind and quietly dismantles dreams before they even have a chance to take root. It whispers that you are not capable, not worthy, or not ready, creating barriers where none truly exist. While failure is often seen as the great obstacle to success, it is not failure that stops most dreams from being realized, it is doubt. Failure, when it comes, carries with it lessons and opportunities for growth. Doubt, on the other hand, is a silent saboteur, killing dreams before they even take their first breath. It creates a paralysis of action, a fear of trying, and a constant second guessing that drains your energy and focus. Doubt often disguises itself as rationality. It tells you that you're simply being cautious or realistic, but its true purpose is to keep you small, to prevent you from stepping into the unknown. This is because doubt thrives on uncertainty, feeding on your fears of what might go wrong. But the truth is, nothing great has ever been achieved without a willingness to face uncertainty. Every breakthrough, every invention, every act of courage began with someone who chose to believe in possibility rather than be consumed by doubt. To understand the power of doubt, you must also understand its opposite, faith. Faith is not blind optimism or wishful thinking. It is a deep inner knowing, a trust in the unseen, and a belief in your ability to create and achieve. Faith does not require proof, it is the proof itself. When you replace doubt with faith, you open yourself to a world of possibilities. You stop fixating on what could go wrong and start focusing on what could go right. This shift in perspective is transformative because your energy flows where your attention goes. By choosing faith, you align yourself with your desires rather than your fears. The key to overcoming doubt is not to suppress it or pretend it doesn't exist. Instead, it is to confront it with awareness and understanding. Doubt arises when you allow your mind to dwell on uncertainty and negativity. It grows when you replay past failures or imagine worst-case scenarios. But when you bring your attention back to the present moment and to the vision of what you want to achieve, doubt loses its power. You cannot eliminate doubt entirely, but you can choose not to let it dictate your actions. One way to counter doubt is to take action, even if it's small and imperfect. Doubt often convinces you that you need to have everything figured out before you begin. It tells you that you need more knowledge, more resources, or more time. But the truth is, clarity comes through action, not before it. Every step you take, no matter how small, builds momentum and chips away at doubt. With each step, you gain confidence, not because doubt disappears, but because you prove to yourself that you are capable of moving forward despite it. Another way to replace doubt with faith is to visualize the outcome you desire. When you vividly imagine yourself succeeding, your mind begins to accept it as a possibility. This is not just a mental exercise, it is a powerful tool for shifting your energy. Visualization helps you align with the feeling of already having achieved your goal, which in turn attracts the people, opportunities, and circumstances needed to bring it to life. When doubt arises, return to this vision. Let it serve as your anchor, reminding you of what is possible. Gratitude is another antidote to doubt. When you focus on what you already have and what is already working in your life, you shift your perspective from lack to abundance. Doubt thrives on a sense of inadequacy, but gratitude reminds you of your strengths, your achievements, and the support around you. It grounds you in the present moment, where you are most powerful, and reinforces the belief that you are capable of creating even more to be grateful for. It is also important to recognize that doubt often mirrors your deeper fears of failure, rejection, or unworthiness. By addressing these fears directly, you can begin to dismantle the foundation on which doubt stands. Ask yourself, what is the worst that could happen if I try and fail? Can I handle it more often than not? The answers reveal that the risks are far smaller than doubt would have you believe. And even when challenges arise, they are not the end, they are part of the journey. Faith requires courage. It asks you to trust in yourself, in your vision, and in the unseen forces that support you. It does not guarantee that every step will be easy, but it assures you that every step is worth taking. Doubt may persist, but it does not have to define you. You have the power to choose faith over fear, belief over uncertainty, and action over hesitation. Remember, doubt kills more dreams than failure ever could, because doubt stops you from even trying. Failure, on the other hand, is a stepping stone, a teacher, and often a necessary part of the path to success. When you release doubt and embrace faith, you step into your full power. You begin to see challenges as opportunities and setbacks as redirections. You realize that the only thing standing between you and your dreams is your willingness to believe in them and in yourself. The moment you choose faith, the silent saboteur of doubt begins to fade, and your dreams become not just possible, but inevitable. You are the operant power in your own life, the sole architect of your experiences. Everything you see, everything you encounter, is a reflection of the thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions you hold. The power to change your circumstances, to reshape your reality, does not lie outside of you, it resides within. This truth is both liberating and humbling, for it places the full responsibility for your life in your own hands. It means that you are not at the mercy of external forces, luck, or other people's actions. Instead, you are the cause of everything that unfolds, and as the cause, you hold the power to create change. Many people go through life believing they are victims of circumstance. They look to the world around them and see limitations, obstacles, and challenges as fixed realities that dictate what is possible for them. They say, if only I had more time, more money, or more support, then I could achieve my goals. They wait for the conditions to change before taking action, never realizing that the power to alter those conditions lies within them. The truth is that the external world is not fixed, it is malleable, shaped by the energy and beliefs you bring to it. Your thoughts are the building blocks of your reality. Every thought you entertain, whether fleeting or sustained, carries with it a vibrational energy that influences your experiences. Positive, empowering thoughts create conditions of growth and success, while negative, self-defeating thoughts perpetuate struggle and limitation. But it is not enough to think positively on the surface while harboring doubts and fears underneath. The true power lies in your ability to align your entire being, your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs with the reality you wish to create. This alignment activates the creative power within you and sets in motion the forces necessary to manifest your desires. The key to wielding this power is awareness. You must become conscious of the patterns of thought and belief that shape your life. This requires introspection and honesty, as it often means confronting the limiting beliefs you have accepted as truth. These beliefs may have been instilled in you by society, family, or past experiences, but they are not absolute. You have the power to question them, to release them, and to replace them with beliefs that serve your highest good. When you take full ownership of your inner world, you reclaim your role as the operant power. It is important to understand that circumstances do not define you. They are merely the outward expressions of your inner state. If you see lack, failure, or limitation in your life, it is not because the world is against you. It is because on some level, you have accepted those conditions as part of your reality. This is not to place blame, but to empower you to recognize that change begins with you. The moment you decide to shift your perspective, the moment you choose to see yourself as abundant, capable, and deserving, the outer world begins to reflect that shift. Action is an essential part of this process. But it is not action alone that creates change. It is inspired action that flows from a place of belief and alignment that carries the greatest power. When you act from a place of fear, doubt, or desperation, your efforts are often met with resistance because they are not aligned with the energy of your desires. But when you act from a place of confidence, trust, and knowing, the path forward unfolds with ease. This is the difference between forcing and allowing, between striving and creating. Faith is your anchor as you step into the role of the operant power. Faith is the quiet certainty that your desires are already fulfilled, even when the evidence around you suggests otherwise. It is the unwavering belief in your ability to create, no matter the circumstances. Faith sustains you in moments of doubt and keeps you aligned with the vision of your desired reality. It is not blind, it is rooted in the understanding that the power to shape your life lies within you. The external world may present challenges, but these challenges are not there to defeat you. They are opportunities for growth, reflections of the areas where your beliefs and actions need to come into greater alignment. When you encounter resistance, do not see it as a sign of failure. Instead, see it as a chance to refine your focus and strengthen your faith. The power within you is limitless, but it requires your conscious direction to fully activate. To embrace your role as the operant power is to take full responsibility for your life. It means releasing the need to blame external factors for your struggles and recognizing that you have the ability to create something different. It means stepping out of the role of victim and into the role of creator. It means trusting in your power even when the path ahead seems uncertain. The force to change your circumstances lies within you, and nothing external can limit it unless you allow it to. Own this truth, and you will discover that you are not just a participant in life, you are its author. The world is not happening to you, it is responding to you. When you fully embrace this understanding, you step into a realm of limitless possibilities, where your desires are not dreams deferred but realities waiting to be claimed. You are the operant power. Own it and watch your world transform. Stop waiting for permission, for no one outside of you holds the key to your success. The authority you seek is already within you, yet so many spend their lives waiting for validation, approval, or some external sign that it's the right time to act. This waiting creates stagnation, a life lived on pause, as if the fullness of your potential hinges on someone else's acknowledgement. But the truth is, the power to move forward, to create, and to achieve lies entirely within your hands. You are the only one who can unlock the door to your dreams. Why do so many of us feel the need for permission? It is often rooted in fear of rejection, failure, or judgment. We seek the approval of others to shield us from these fears, believing that their endorsement will guarantee success, or at the very least, soften the blow of possible failure. But the reality is that no amount of external approval can eliminate risk, nor can it ensure the outcome you desire. All it does is delay the inevitable truth. The only permission that matters is the one you grant yourself. Waiting for permission often comes disguised as patience or preparation. You tell yourself that you're waiting for the right moment, the perfect opportunity, or the ideal conditions. But deep down, this waiting is often just an excuse to avoid stepping into the unknown. The right moment rarely arrives because the right moment is not something you wait for, it is something you create. Action, not waiting, is what sets things in motion. And action begins with the decision to move forward without waiting for anyone to say, "Now you're ready." The world is filled with examples of people who succeeded not because they were granted permission, but because they chose to act despite the lack of it. They didn't wait for someone to tell them they were good enough or that their ideas were worthy. They took bold steps, trusting in their vision and their ability to figure things out along the way. This is the mindset you must adopt if you wish to break free from the cycle of waiting. You must recognize that you are the authority in your own life, the one who determines your worth and your readiness. Granting yourself permission begins with a shift in perspective. It requires you to stop looking outside of yourself for validation and start looking within. Ask yourself, what do I want? What am I capable of? What is holding me back? Often you'll find that the only thing truly standing in your way is your own hesitation, fueled by a belief that you need something outside of yourself to move forward. But this belief is a lie. The moment you decide to act, you prove to yourself that you are capable, and with each step, your confidence grows. Fear will always be present when you step into the unknown, but fear is not a reason to hold back. It is a signal that you are moving beyond your comfort zone, into a space where growth and possibility reside. Waiting for permission will not eliminate this fear, it will only prolong it. The only way to overcome fear is to face it, to take action despite it, and to show yourself that you are stronger than the doubts that try to hold you back. One of the most liberating truths you can embrace is that you do not need to have everything figured out to begin. Perfection is not a prerequisite for action. Waiting until you feel completely ready is another form of seeking permission, a way of delaying the inevitable leap. The truth is, readiness comes through action. As you take steps, you learn, you adapt, and you grow. The path becomes clearer as you walk it, but you must first take that initial step without waiting for anyone to push you forward. You'll understand that not everyone will approve of your decisions or support your vision, and that's okay. You are not living your life to meet the expectations of others. Your dreams are yours for a reason, and they don't need to make sense to anyone but you. By waiting for others to validate your path, you give away your power. By granting yourself permission, you reclaim it. You take ownership of your life and your choices, knowing that your success is not dependent on the opinions or approval of others. To stop waiting for permission is to step into your power. It is to recognize that you are the creator of your reality, the one who decides what is possible for you. It is to trust in your ability to navigate challenges and to learn from setbacks. It is to believe in your vision, even when the world around you offers no guarantees. When you stop waiting and start acting, you shift from a state of passivity to one of creation. You move from being a spectator in your own life to being the driving force behind it. The authority you seek has always been yours. It does not come from a title, a degree, or someone else's approval. It comes from within, from the decision to own your potential and step boldly into the life you desire. Give yourself the permission you've been waiting for, and you'll discover that the only thing standing between you and your dreams was the belief that you needed someone else's approval. In truth, you never did. The power has always been yours. Take it and move forward without hesitation. Imagination is the gateway to transformation, the bridge between the seen and the unseen, the key that unlocks the infinite potential of your life. Your mind is not a passive observer of reality, but an active creator shaping the world around you through the images, feelings, and beliefs you hold within. Everything you experience begins first as a thought, a vision, or a feeling in the mind. This is the workshop of creation, where possibilities are born and where transformation begins. What you vividly imagine and embrace as real in your inner world inevitably manifests in your external reality. Imagination is not a frivolous daydream or a meaningless escape. It is the most powerful tool you possess for change and growth. Through imagination, you can step beyond the confines of your current circumstances and see a new reality, one that is not limited by past experiences or present conditions. When you engage your imagination with intention, you tap into a creative force that knows no boundaries. This force does not care about the how or the why of your desires. It simply responds to the images and emotions you impress upon it, bringing them into existence in ways you may not have anticipated. Many people underestimate the power of imagination because they associate it with fantasy, something separate from reality. Yet the truth is that imagination is the foundation of all reality. Every invention, every work of art, every great achievement began as a thought in someone's mind. Before it was tangible, it was imagined. The chair you sit on, the device you use to read these words, even the building you live in, all were once ideas, vividly imagined and brought into being through belief and action. Your own life is no different. What you vividly imagine and feel deeply, you create. The key to harnessing the transformative power of imagination lies in your ability to engage it with conviction. It is not enough to passively think about what you want, you must embody it. Feel it as though it is already real. When you imagine a desired outcome with clarity and emotion, your mind cannot distinguish between what is real and what is vividly imagined. The feelings you generate in your imagination set off a chain reaction in your subconscious mind, aligning your thoughts, actions, and external circumstances with the vision you hold. This is why it is so important to cultivate a clear and positive inner vision. Your imagination is always at work, whether you realize it or not, and it will create whatever you focus on most, whether that focus is on abundance or lack, joy or struggle. Imagination is also the tool that allows you to transcend the limitations of the present moment. No matter where you find yourself, no matter how challenging your circumstances may appear, you can use your imagination to see beyond them and create a new reality. You are not bound by the constraints of the material world. Your true power lies in your ability to envision something greater. When you consistently imagine yourself living the life you desire, you begin to shift your inner state, and that shift inevitably reflects in your outer world. The transformation starts within, but it does not stay there. It ripples outward, affecting every area of your life. The process of using imagination as a gateway to transformation requires trust and persistence. It is not always easy to hold on to a vision when the evidence around you seems to contradict it. Doubt may creep in, tempting you to abandon your imagination and accept the status quo. But this is the test of your belief. The moment when you must choose to trust in the unseen. Remember, the physical world is not fixed, it is fluid and responsive to the energy you bring to it. When you persist in imagining and feeling your desired reality as true, you give it the time and space to unfold. One of the most powerful aspects of imagination is its ability to change not only your external circumstances but also your inner self. As you imagine yourself as the person you wish to be, confident, successful, joyful, you begin to embody those qualities in the present moment. Your self-concept shifts, and with it, your actions and decisions align with the version of you that you are creating. This is the essence of transformation, not merely changing what you have, but changing who you are. When you become the person who naturally lives the life you desire, that life flows to you effortlessly. Imagination also opens the door to possibilities you may not have considered. It allows you to step beyond the logical mind, which is often limited by past experiences and societal conditioning, and tap into a realm of infinite creativity. Solutions to problems, ideas for growth, and paths to success often come to you when you allow your imagination to roam freely. This is why it is so important to nurture your imagination, to give yourself permission to dream boldly and without restriction. The more vividly and expansively you imagine, the more expansive your reality becomes. Your imagination is the most valuable tool you have for creating a life of fulfillment and purpose. It is the gateway to transformation, the means by which you turn desire into reality. Whatever you vividly imagine and feel as real is not merely a possibility, it is a certainty, waiting to be claimed. Embrace the power of your imagination, and you will discover that the life you dream of is not something to be pursued, it is something to be created, moment by moment, from within. In conclusion, the power to transform your life lies entirely within you. Your imagination is the gateway to creation, your thoughts shape your reality, and your feelings bring those visions to life. When you let go of doubt, embrace faith, and recognize your role as the operant power, you unlock infinite potential. You do not need to wait for permission, fear external circumstances, or be bound by the limitations of the present. Instead, step boldly into the creative force within, trusting that what you vividly imagine and feel as real will manifest in your world. Your future is built in the present moment through your beliefs, your focus, and your willingness to act with conviction. Do not let fear, doubt, or the opinions of others hold you back. Own your power, grant yourself permission, and move forward with unwavering faith in your ability to create a life of purpose, abundance, and joy. Thank you for allowing these words to resonate within you. May they serve as a reminder of the immense power you hold and inspire you to step into the fullness of who you are. Ladies and gentlemen, you are not meant to wait for life to hand you what you desire. You were given the power to create, to shape, and to bring forth the reality that is already yours in spirit. To wait is to deny the truth that everything you seek already exists within you. The question is not if it will manifest, it is when. And that when depends solely on your conviction in the now. Do not let doubt creep into your mind. Doubt is the thief of destiny, the silent whisper that tries to convince you that you are unworthy or incapable. But know this: what you imagine with feeling and belief will inevitably come to pass. To doubt is to stall the creative power that flows through you. Trust the vision, see it as done, feel it as real. Hesitation is a luxury you cannot afford. The moment you hesitate, you weaken the bridge between your desire and its fulfillment. Decide boldly. Act confidently. The world moves to make room for those who dare to step forward with certainty. Fear is nothing but a shadow, a projection of a mind that has forgotten its divine origin. What you fear, you empower. But what you face with courage, you conquer. The moment you recognize fear as an illusion, you dismantle its hold over you. Stand tall in the knowledge that nothing outside of you can dictate your path. Faith is your foundation. It is the unwavering belief that what you desire is already unfolding, even if you cannot yet see it. Faith does not waver in the face of delay or opposition. It stands firm, knowing that all things are working together for your good. Decide. Do not wait for a sign, for the perfect moment, or for the stars to align. The moment you decide, the wheels of creation begin to turn. The universe rearranges itself in response to your certainty. You are not here to live a life of hesitation and fear. You are here to command your reality into existence. So I tell you, do not wait, do not doubt, do not hesitate, do not fear. The power is in your hands and your time is now. Act as if it is done and watch as the world bends to your will. Life is a continuous stream of now. The past is but a memory, and the future is only a projection of your imagination. Neither has any real power except the power you give them in the present. By dwelling on what was or worrying about what could be, you drain the energy needed to act in this moment. And it is action in the now that transforms thought into reality. Delaying that action, even for a moment, is to delay the manifestation of your dreams. Consider this: every great accomplishment began with a single decision made in the present. The seeds of success are not planted in tomorrow, they are sown in the fertile soil of today. When you take action, no matter how small, you set forces into motion that ripple through the fabric of your life. Procrastination, on the other hand, is like placing your dreams on hold indefinitely. It is a silent agreement to remain in the same place, to let opportunities slip by, and to allow fear or doubt to dictate your path. The power of the present moment lies in its immediacy. When you act now, you communicate to the universe that you are ready, willing, and deserving of your desires. This readiness sends a signal that aligns circumstances, people, and resources to support your vision. Conversely, when you delay, you send a message of hesitation, uncertainty, or even disbelief. The universe responds accordingly, mirroring your hesitation by holding back the opportunities and outcomes you seek. Delaying action also creates a dangerous cycle of inertia. The more you put off a task or decision, the heavier it feels. Doubts grow, and the mind becomes cluttered with excuses. I'll do it tomorrow turns into next week, and before you know it, months or even years have passed. The life you dreamed of seems further away, not because it is unattainable, but because you have postponed stepping into it. Acting in the now does not mean rushing blindly or making impulsive decisions. It means fully engaging with the present moment and recognizing its significance. It means asking yourself, what can I do right now with what I have to move closer to my vision? The answer may not always be grand or dramatic. Sometimes it is as simple as making a phone call, writing a plan, or taking a single step forward. These small actions, taken consistently in the present, build momentum and open doors you never imagined possible. When you embrace the now, you also free yourself from the burden of waiting for perfection. Perfection is an illusion that keeps you trapped in inaction. The truth is, you do not need to have everything figured out before you begin. The path unfolds as you walk it. The clarity you seek often comes from the very act of moving forward. Imagine what your life could look like if you stopped waiting. Imagine the opportunities you could create, the relationships you could nurture, and the dreams you could bring to life simply by choosing to act now. Every second spent delaying is a second lost, a moment that could have been used to shape your future. But when you step into the present with intention, you reclaim your power and accelerate the realization of your desires. So let go of the excuses, the fears, and the doubts that hold you back. Stop telling yourself that you will start tomorrow, next week, or when conditions improve. The only time you truly have is now, and it is more than enough. Take a deep breath, center yourself, and take that first step. It is in this moment, not the next, that your reality begins to shift. The life you want is waiting, but it cannot unfold until you decide to seize it in the present. Act now, and watch as the world transforms before your eyes. Doubt is a subtle but powerful force that quietly undermines your dreams. It begins as a whisper, a faint question of whether you're capable or worthy. But left unchecked, it grows louder, taking root in your mind and coloring your thoughts with hesitation and fear. Doubt tells you that your vision is too big, too unrealistic, or too far out of reach. And with every moment you entertain it, you push your dreams further away. To doubt is to deny the very essence of what you want to create. It is to reject the possibility of its existence, and in doing so, to deny yourself the joy of realizing it. Your dreams are fragile in their infancy, like seeds waiting to grow. They require belief, nurturing, and trust to flourish. But doubt acts like a storm, uprooting these seeds before they have a chance to take hold. It robs you of the energy and focus needed to turn your vision into reality. When you doubt, you split your energy between wanting and questioning, leaving little left for the action and conviction necessary for manifestation. Doubt often disguises itself as caution or practicality. It whispers that you're just being realistic or that it's wise to temper your expectations. But deep down, you know this is not true. Realism has its place, but when it becomes an excuse to stay small, it turns into doubt. The truth is that every great accomplishment, every breakthrough, and every fulfilled dream once seemed impossible to someone. Those who succeeded did so not because they avoided doubt entirely, but because they refused to let it control them. To doubt is to disconnect from the power that brings your dreams to life. Imagine holding a blueprint for a magnificent building but refusing to believe it can be constructed. Without belief in the plan, no foundation will be laid, no bricks will be set, and no progress will be made. Your vision works the same way. It is the blueprint for your future, but it remains lifeless without the animating force of belief. Trust in your vision is not about ignoring challenges or pretending obstacles don't exist. It's about knowing that, despite the difficulties, your dream is worth pursuing. It's about understanding that the power to create lies within you, not in the circumstances around you. When you trust in your vision, you give it permission to unfold. You create space for opportunities, resources, and ideas to come into your life. But when you doubt, you block these things from reaching you. Think of doubt as a wall, and trust as an open door. With trust, you invite the flow of creation, allowing your dreams to move toward you as you move toward them. With doubt, you shut that door, keeping possibilities at bay. The choice is always yours to doubt and deny, or to trust and receive. Many people abandon their dreams not because they lack talent, resources, or time, but because they succumb to doubt. They tell themselves it's not meant to be, or that they're not ready. But the truth is that readiness comes through action and belief. No one starts with everything perfectly aligned. The alignment happens as you move forward with faith. To trust in your vision means accepting it as real even before you see evidence of it. It means feeling the reality of your dream as though it's already here, knowing that what you believe with conviction must eventually become your experience. This trust is not blind optimism, it's a deep inner knowing that your desires are valid and achievable. The greatest gift you can give to your dreams is unwavering belief. When you trust in your vision, you align with its energy and draw it closer to you. You act as though it's already done, and the universe responds by rearranging itself to match your certainty. The path may not always be clear, and challenges may arise, but trust allows you to navigate these moments with strength and determination. Doubt is a choice, just as belief is a choice. Every time you feel doubt creeping in, remind yourself of why you began. Focus on the outcome you desire, not the obstacles in your way. Speak life into your dreams, affirming their reality with every thought, word, and action. When you choose trust over doubt, you breathe life into your vision and set it free to manifest in ways beyond your imagination. Your dreams are worth believing in. They are the expression of your highest self, calling you to rise above fear and hesitation. Trust in them completely, and they will not fail you. Let go of doubt, and watch as your dreams move from possibility to reality. Hesitation is the silent enemy of creation. It lurks in the spaces between thought and action, whispering questions of what if and am I ready. It convinces you to pause, to overthink, and to wait for the perfect moment. But in truth, hesitation delays the life you desire. It places an artificial barrier between the vision in your mind and the reality waiting to unfold. Boldness, however, is the force that bridges this gap. It is the power to act with confidence, as though the outcome is already secured. Every manifestation begins with a thought. Your mind conceives an idea, a dream, or a goal, and in that moment it exists in the realm of possibility. Yet without action, that thought remains intangible, trapped in the ether. Hesitation arises when fear, doubt, or uncertainty steps in, questioning whether you should proceed. It freezes your momentum, keeping your dreams suspended in limbo. The energy that should propel you forward dissipates, leaving you stuck in a cycle of inaction. Boldness, on the other hand, bypasses hesitation entirely. It doesn't wait for conditions to be perfect or for fears to subside. Boldness says, I am ready now, even if readiness feels incomplete. It acknowledges the power of action in the present moment. To act boldly is to declare your faith in your vision, to trust that the steps you take now will lead to the fulfillment of your desires. This trust is what transforms thought into reality. When you act as if it's already done, you align yourself with the reality you wish to create. This alignment is not mere pretense, it is a powerful shift in consciousness. You begin to think, feel, and behave as though your dream is already part of your life. This bold approach sends a clear signal to the universe you are serious, committed, and ready to receive. It sets into motion the forces that bring opportunities, resources, and synchronicities into your path. Hesitation, in contrast, signals uncertainty. It suggests that you are unsure about your vision, your readiness, or your worthiness. This hesitation creates a gap between your desire and its manifestation, a gap that grows wider the longer you wait. The universe responds to your hesitation by mirroring it, holding back the very things you seek. Boldness, however, closes this gap. It eliminates the space between wanting and receiving, turning intention into experience. Consider how many dreams have been lost to hesitation. Opportunities missed, relationships unpursued, and goals abandoned, all because of a moment of uncertainty. Hesitation convinces you that the risk is too great, the timing is wrong, or that you are not enough. But these are illusions, constructs of the mind that keep you from stepping into your power. The truth is, there is no perfect moment. The only moment that matters is the one you choose to act boldly. To act boldly is not to act recklessly. It is to move forward with purpose and conviction, knowing that your actions, no matter how small, are part of a greater unfolding. Boldness does not require all the answers or a clear path. It only requires the willingness to take the first step. And once that step is taken, the next becomes clearer, and then the next. When you embody boldness, you carry yourself as though the outcome is certain. This certainty shifts your energy and the way others perceive you. People are drawn to confidence and decisiveness. Resources seem to appear as if by magic, and circumstances begin to align in your favor. What once seemed out of reach starts to move toward you, not because of chance, but because boldness opens the door to possibility. The greatest barrier to bold action is often fear of failure, judgment, or the unknown. But fear is only as powerful as the attention you give it. When you choose boldness, you diminish fear's hold on you. You remind yourself that every action, no matter the outcome, is a step closer to your dream. Even perceived failures are valuable, as they teach and refine you for the journey ahead. Act as if it's already done. See your dream as a reality, and move as though it is inevitable. This mindset is not wishful thinking, it is the foundation of manifestation. Boldness does not wait for proof or permission. It creates proof through action. It bridges the gap between the intangible and the tangible, turning possibility into reality. Do not let hesitation rob you of your destiny. The life you desire is waiting, but it requires your boldness to come alive. Take the step. Make the decision. Act now and watch as the world reshapes itself to meet your unwavering confidence. Fear is a construct of the mind, a clever illusion designed to keep you in the familiar, to hold you within the confines of what you already know. It is a defense mechanism born from the instinct to survive, but in the modern world, it has become a barrier to growth and freedom. Fear whispers that you are not ready, not capable, not deserving. It creates shadows of doubt and builds walls of hesitation. Yet when you pause to examine fear for what it truly is, you see its fragile nature. It is not real. It is merely a projection of the mind, a trick that loses its power the moment you face it. Fear thrives in the unknown, feeding on uncertainty and magnifying it into an insurmountable obstacle. It convinces you that staying where you are stagnant and safe is preferable to taking a risk. But this safety is an illusion. The comfort zone fear defends is not a sanctuary but a prison, one that keeps you from exploring the vast potential of who you are and what you can achieve. When fear arises, it often disguises itself as rationality or practicality. It tells you that your dream is too ambitious or that failure is inevitable. It plants seeds of self-doubt, making you question your abilities and your worthiness. But these thoughts are not truths, they are constructs of the mind, designed to protect you from perceived danger. The key is to recognize them as such mental fabrications, not reality. Think of all the times fear has stopped you from pursuing something you desired. Perhaps it was the fear of rejection, failure, or ridicule. Yet if you look back, how many of those fears actually came to pass? And even if they did, were they as devastating as you imagined? More often than not, the worst-case scenarios fear presents never materialize. Instead, the real regret lies in the opportunities missed because of fear's illusionary grip. Facing fear does not mean eliminating it entirely. Fear is a natural part of the human experience, and its presence does not signal weakness. Rather, it offers a chance to grow. Every time you confront fear, you expand your capacity for courage and resilience. Each step taken in the face of fear weakens its hold, proving to yourself that you are stronger than any illusion the mind can create. Fear is often rooted in the past or the future. It draws from past failures or imagined scenarios of what could go wrong. But in the present moment, fear has no foothold. When you anchor yourself in the now, fear loses its grip. The present is where action happens, where dreams are built, and where courage is born. By focusing on the step in front of you, rather than the mountain ahead, you take away fear's ability to paralyze you. Action is the antidote to fear. Even the smallest act of defiance against fear's narrative begins to dismantle its illusion. Each time you act despite fear, you prove to yourself that the mind's projections are not reality. You shift your focus from what might go wrong to what could go right. You reclaim your power from fear and channel it into creating the life you desire. Fear is not your enemy, it is a mirror, reflecting areas where growth is possible. Instead of running from it, lean into it. Ask yourself what fear is trying to protect you from, and then question whether that protection is necessary. Often you will find that fear is clinging to outdated beliefs or assumptions that no longer serve you. By challenging these beliefs, you free yourself from their constraints. You are not your fear. You are the creator of your reality, and fear is nothing more than a passing thought. When you stop running from it and instead see it for what it is, you reclaim your power. You render fear powerless, and in doing so, you step boldly into the limitless possibilities of your life. Faith is the bridge between the invisible and the visible, the unshakable force that turns mere thoughts into tangible realities. It is the unseen hand that moves mountains, the energy that aligns the universe to manifest your desires. When you hold faith, you stand in the certainty of what you cannot yet see. knowing that your belief is the key to its eventual unfolding. Faith activates the invisible forces that respond to your intentions, bringing into form the very things you desire. At its core, faith is not about hoping or wishing, it is about knowing. It is the quiet confidence that the unseen is just as real as the seen, and that what you seek is already in motion, making its way toward you. When you stand firm in your belief, you set into motion the powerful forces of creation, forces that do not question or waver but act in perfect harmony with your conviction. Your faith becomes the foundation upon which your reality is built, shaping circumstances, opportunities, and experiences to align with your desires. The invisible forces at work are always present, responding to your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. But they require faith to be fully activated. Without faith, doubt and fear creep in, disrupting the flow and scattering the energy needed to bring your desires to fruition. Doubt weakens the signal you send out, while faith strengthens it, amplifying your intentions and aligning the universe to meet your needs. Faith is the power that sustains your vision, even when external evidence suggests otherwise. Faith asks you to trust in the unseen, to believe in the outcome even before it manifests. This trust is not blind, it is deeply rooted in the understanding that your thoughts and beliefs shape your reality. When you hold faith, you declare that your vision is already real, even if it has not yet appeared in physical form. This unwavering belief creates a magnetic pull, drawing to you the people, resources, and circumstances necessary to make your vision a reality. Challenges and setbacks are inevitable, but faith is what carries you through them. It reminds you that these obstacles are not the end but part of the process, tests of your commitment to your vision. When you hold faith, you see these challenges not as barriers but as stepping stones, opportunities to refine your focus and strengthen your resolve. Faith is the anchor that keeps you steady, even in the face of uncertainty. Faith is not passive, it is active and dynamic. It requires you to embody the energy of your desired outcome, to act as if it is already done. This alignment between your thoughts, feelings, and actions is what activates the invisible forces and accelerates the manifestation process. When you move through the world with the confidence that your desires are on their way, you create a ripple effect, influencing your environment and opening doors that were previously closed. The unseen forces at play are vast and limitless, but they require your faith to be fully activated. Just as a seed needs water and sunlight to grow, your desires need the nourishment of belief to take root and flourish. When you stand firm in your faith, you create a fertile ground for these forces to work, allowing them to bring your vision to life in ways that often exceed your imagination. Faith is not a matter of waiting, it is a matter of knowing. It is the quiet assurance that what you desire is already yours, even if it has not yet appeared. This knowing transforms your energy, aligning you with the vibration of your desired outcome. When you embody this energy, you become a co-creator with the universe, working in harmony with the invisible forces that shape reality. Hold your faith unwaveringly, and watch as the unseen becomes seen, the imagined becomes real, and the impossible becomes possible. Faith is your greatest tool, the key to unlocking the infinite potential of the universe. Stand firm in it, and know that all you desire is already on its way. The power of decision is one of the greatest forces you possess. Your life, your experiences, and even the world around you are shaped by the decisions you make. The moment you decide with clarity and conviction, all of creation begins to move in alignment with that decision. It is as if the universe, which was previously waiting on your command, springs into action, orchestrating events, circumstances, and opportunities to bring your choice into reality. Deciding is not simply choosing, it is an act of creation, a declaration that what you have determined is already yours. When you decide, you send a clear and unwavering signal to the world. This signal is not just a thought or a hope, it is a powerful, energetic command that leaves no room for ambiguity. Your decision declares to the universe, this is what I want. This is who I am. and the universe responds in kind, rearranging itself to match the vibration of your choice. The act of deciding is the moment you shift from uncertainty to certainty, from potentiality to actuality. Most people hesitate to decide because they fear making the wrong choice. They linger in indecision, thinking that by keeping their options open, they are protecting themselves from failure or regret. But indecision is its own form of failure. It creates stagnation, leaving you stuck in a state of limbo where nothing progresses. The truth is, any decision is better than no decision, because the act of deciding sets energy into motion. Even if adjustments are needed later, you cannot steer a ship that isn't moving. To decide is to commit. It is to close the door on doubt and fear, to remove hesitation and uncertainty from the equation. This commitment is what gives your decision power. It eliminates conflicting energy, focusing all your thoughts, emotions, and actions on a single outcome. When you decide with conviction, you embody the energy of already having what you desire. This alignment is what accelerates the manifestation process. Deciding is an act of trust not in something external, but in yourself and the power you hold to shape your reality. It is a statement of faith, a knowing that the moment you decide, the path will unfold. You may not see every step ahead, but your decision sets the wheels in motion. Doors will open, opportunities will arise, and people will come into your life to support your journey. The how is not your concern, it is taken care of by forces greater than you. Your only task is to decide and remain unwavering in your choice. A decision is final. It leaves no room for second guessing or retreat. When you decide, you burn the bridges behind you, ensuring that there is no path back to indecision. This finality is what gives your decision its transformative power. It signals to the universe that you are ready, that you have chosen, and that you will not waver. This unwavering certainty creates momentum, drawing everything you need to fulfill your decision. Deciding requires courage because it often means stepping into the unknown. It means trusting in what cannot yet be seen and believing in your ability to bring it into being. But the rewards of deciding far outweigh the risks. The moment you decide, you free yourself from the paralysis of indecision and take control of your destiny. You become a creator, shaping your life with intention and purpose. Do not underestimate the power of a single decision. Your entire reality is built upon the choices you make. Decide what you want, and it is done. The moment you choose with clarity and conviction, you unleash the creative forces of the universe to bring your vision to life. Trust in this process. Decide boldly and watch as your world transforms to match your choice. In life, the power to create, to transform, and to manifest lies entirely within you. Every moment is an opportunity to step into your true potential by recognizing the infinite possibilities at your command. Doubt, fear, hesitation, and indecision are not obstacles in the external world, they are barriers of the mind. When you choose to overcome them, you unlock the forces of creation that are always at work, ready to align with your bold decisions and unwavering faith. So trust in the process, act boldly, and align your inner world with the vision you hold. Your reality is shaped by your choices, and with faith and determination, nothing is beyond your reach. The life you desire is already yours, it simply awaits your command. Thank you for your time and attention. May you step forward with courage and create the life you truly deserve. Ladies and gentlemen, for a moment and breathe deeply. Feel the stillness that exists within you, for it is there that your true power lies. You have been taught to run, to strive, to push against the flow of life. But let me remind you of a profound truth. That which is meant for you cannot outrun you, and that which is not cannot be forced into your life. Forcing is resistance. It is a signal that you doubt the natural flow of your life. When you force, you create tension within yourself and your reality. The things that truly belong to you will unfold without struggle. Like water that flows effortlessly around obstacles, your life moves with grace when you trust and release control. Settling is the denial of your worth. It is telling yourself that you are unworthy of more, that you cannot have what you truly desire. But know this, the universe reflects your inner beliefs. When you settle for less, you create a reality of less. Refuse to settle, for your desires are not random, they are whispers from the divine, guiding you toward what is meant for you. The greatest tragedy is not failure, it is giving up just before the breakthrough. Your desires are seeds planted in the soil of your imagination, but every seed requires time to grow. Do not dig up what you have planted with doubt and impatience. Trust that it is growing, even if you cannot see it yet. Understand this, the journey is not about getting but becoming. When you embody the energy of what you seek, the world rearranges itself to reflect that state. There is no need to chase, for you are magnetic. There is no need to force, for the current of life carries you. There is no need to settle, for your worth is infinite. And there is no need to quit, for your destiny is assured. Hold this truth in your heart, everything you desire is already yours, waiting for you to claim it, not by force, but by faith. Let go of the chase, surrender the need to control, and allow your life to unfold in perfect harmony. For a moment and reflect on this simple truth: your outer world is but a mirror of your inner state. Every circumstance, relationship, and experience you encounter is a reflection of the thoughts and emotions you consistently hold within. There is no need to chase what is already destined for you, because the act of chasing is rooted in the belief that what you desire is absent. This belief, when held persistently, becomes your reality. But what if you shifted your focus inward? What if, instead of pursuing, you began aligning yourself with the feeling of already having what you seek? Imagine for a moment that your desires are like seeds planted in the soil of your imagination. These seeds do not require frantic effort or constant worry to grow. They need faith, attention, and the proper environment. In this case, the environment is your inner world, the thoughts you entertain, and the emotions you dwell upon. When your inner state vibrates with lack or desperation, you create resistance. It's like digging up the soil every day to check if the seed is growing. In doing so, you disrupt the natural process of growth and delay the very thing you want. But when you align your thoughts and feelings with the state of already having what you desire, you water the seed with faith and patience. This alignment is not about pretending or wishful thinking, it is about knowing that the unseen forces at work are real, and that your imagination is the blueprint for your reality. Every feeling you cultivate is a silent instruction to the universe. When you feel abundant, you invite abundance. When you feel loved, you draw love. The external world has no choice but to reflect the vibration you carry within. The error most people make is in thinking that effort alone can bring about their desires. They chase, they push, and they force, believing that action is the sole determinant of results. But action, when taken from a place of misalignment, only leads to frustration. Chasing implies that you are separate from what you want, and this very belief creates a barrier. The harder you run after something, the more it eludes you. Think of a butterfly. If you chase it, it flutters away. But if you sit still and allow it, the butterfly comes and rests on your shoulder. This principle applies to every area of your life. If you are seeking love, do not look for it in others while feeling unloved within. Instead, cultivate the feeling of love in yourself. You become the person who is already cherished, valued, and adored, and you will naturally attract relationships that mirror this state. If you desire wealth, do not dwell on thoughts of scarcity or complain about what you lack. Feel the joy of abundance within, as though it is already yours, and the opportunities and resources you need will align effortlessly. The truth is, you are not here to control the universe. You are here to work in harmony with it. Life is always unfolding for your highest good, even when it doesn't appear that way. Every delay, detour, and obstacle serves a purpose, guiding you towards something greater than you can presently imagine. Forcing implies mistrust in this divine orchestration. It is as if you're saying, I know better than the infinite intelligence that governs all things. But when you step back and allow, you make space for miracles. You open the door for solutions and outcomes that surpass anything you could have planned or forced into being. Allowing does not mean passivity or inaction. It means taking inspired action that arises naturally from a place of alignment. When you force something, your energy is fragmented and chaotic, and the results reflect that. But when you are in alignment, your actions are purposeful, efficient, and in harmony with the flow of life. Think of a river. It does not force its way to the ocean. It follows the path of least resistance, winding around obstacles, carving its way effortlessly through rock and soil. Its power lies in its flow, not in force. The same principle applies to your desires and intentions. When you force something, a relationship, a career move, or even a small goal, you send a message of doubt and scarcity to the universe. You are, in essence, saying, I don't believe this can happen naturally, so I must make it happen. This energy repels what you want, creating delays and frustrations. On the other hand, when you allow, you trust that the universe knows the perfect timing and the best path for you. You relax into the knowing that what is meant for you cannot miss you. Forcing also limits possibilities. When you fixate on one specific outcome and try to make it happen, you close yourself off to the infinite ways in which your desires could manifest. You become blind to opportunities and synchronicities that might lead to something even better. Allowing opens you up to these possibilities. It creates a state of receptivity, where you can recognize and act on the subtle nudges and signs that guide you toward your highest good. True power lies in allowing because it comes from a place of inner certainty. When you allow, you are rooted in faith, not fear. You understand that your role is not to make things happen, but to align with them, to become a vibrational match for what you desire. You trust that the same force that moves the stars and seasons also moves your life, and you surrender to its wisdom. This does not mean there won't be challenges or moments of doubt. But even in those moments, you have the choice to let go of force and return to flow. To pause, breathe, and remind yourself that all is unfolding as it should. The universe is not in a hurry, and neither should you be. What is meant for you will find its way to you in the most beautiful and unexpected ways when you release the need to control. So let go of the struggle. Stop trying to force the river to flow faster or in a direction it was never meant to go. Trust the current, trust yourself, and trust the unseen forces that are always working in your favor. When you allow, you become one with the flow of life, and in that flow you will find everything you've ever desired and more. There is a quiet yet powerful truth: when you settle for less than you deserve, you diminish your own worth. Settling is not merely about making a compromise, it is a signal to the universe that you do not believe you are worthy of more. It is a reflection of an inner dialogue that whispers, this is all I can have, or I am not enough, but these whispers are lies born from fear, doubt, or past wounds. To accept less is to turn away from the abundance that is your birthright. You must honor yourself first, for the world will always treat you as you teach it to. Settling stems from a lack of belief in your own value. Perhaps you've been conditioned to think that you should be grateful for whatever you get, even if it doesn't fulfill you. Or maybe you fear that asking for more will leave you with nothing. These fears create a cycle of accepting what is easy, convenient, or familiar, even when it doesn't align with your highest good. But what you settle for today becomes the standard you set for yourself tomorrow. And the longer you remain in a state of settling, the harder it becomes to rise to the level of what you truly deserve. Your worth is not determined by external circumstances or the opinions of others. It is intrinsic, unchanging, and infinite. Yet, recognizing your worth requires a conscious decision to see yourself as valuable and deserving of the best life has to offer. This recognition begins within. It is not about arrogance or entitlement, but about a quiet confidence that says, I am enough. I am worthy. When you honor this truth, you create a foundation of self-respect that shapes every choice you make. Settling diminishes this foundation. When you accept a relationship that doesn't fulfill you, a job that drains you, or a situation that compromises your values, you send a message to yourself and the universe that you are willing to live below your potential. This message ripples outward, attracting more of the same. But the moment you decide to stop settling, you shift your vibration. You reclaim your power, and the universe responds in kind. Honoring yourself means having the courage to walk away from what does not serve you, even if it feels uncomfortable or uncertain. It means saying no to what is less than what you deserve, not out of anger or bitterness, but from a place of self-love. When you honor yourself, you make room for what is truly aligned with your heart and soul. You open the door for relationships, opportunities, and experiences that uplift and inspire you. This is not to say that the journey will always be easy. There will be moments of doubt, where the temptation to settle arises. You may question whether you are asking for too much or fear that nothing better will come along. But in these moments, remind yourself of the truth: you are always worthy of more. The universe is abundant, and there is no limit to what you can receive when you align with your own value. Honoring yourself also requires patience. It is a practice of trusting that what is meant for you will not pass you by, and that waiting for the best is always worth it. Patience is not passivity, it is active faith. It is choosing to hold out for what truly aligns with your vision, even when the immediate options seem easier. This faith sends a powerful signal to the universe that you are ready to receive all that you desire without compromise. The most profound relationships and opportunities arise when you are aligned with your true worth. When you honor yourself, you become a magnet for the best that life has to offer. People who see your value will naturally gravitate toward you, and situations that reflect your worth will unfold effortlessly. But it begins with you. No one else can set the standard for your life. That is your responsibility. So let go of the fear that tells you to settle. Release the belief that what you want is too much to ask for. Stand firm in the knowledge that you deserve the best simply because you exist. When you honor yourself, you teach the world how to honor you. And when you believe in your own value, you unlock a life filled with abundance, joy, and fulfillment beyond measure. Patience is the cornerstone of all creation, the silent force that nurtures every seed of intention until it blooms. To quit, to walk away from your dreams before they come to fruition, is to deny the very manifestation you set into motion. It's like planting a seed, watering it for a while, and then digging it up in frustration because you cannot see the sprout. But growth is happening, even if it's not immediately visible. The unseen work beneath the soil is what gives life to the eventual bloom. Quitting interrupts this divine process, severing the connection between your desire and its manifestation. Every thought, every intention, every dream you hold is a seed. When you commit to it, you place it into the fertile soil of the universe. But like any seed, it needs time to grow. There is a natural rhythm to creation, a gestation period that cannot be rushed. Patience is not passive, it is active faith. It is the unwavering belief that what you've sown will emerge in its perfect time, even when the outer world shows no evidence. To quit, then, is to forsake this faith and abandon the very process that was working in your favor. The temptation to quit often arises in moments of doubt and frustration. You may feel as though nothing is happening, as though your efforts are in vain. But this is an illusion. Just as a seed must break through the darkness of the soil before it reaches the light, your desires must go through an invisible process of alignment and preparation. The energy of creation is always at work, even when you cannot see it. To quit is to disregard this unseen progress, to lose sight of the truth that every action and intention is contributing to your ultimate goal. The manifestation requires more than just patience, it demands trust. Trust in yourself, trust in the process, and trust in the universe's timing. Often the very moment you feel like giving up is the moment when your desire is closest to becoming reality. This is because the energy of manifestation intensifies as it nears completion, and with it, the challenges and doubts may also rise. But these are not signs to quit, they are signs to persist. They are tests of your commitment, asking whether you truly believe in what you set out to create. When you quit, you abandon the potential that was already unfolding. You deny the possibility of the bloom, cutting short the journey before it reaches its destination. But persistence, even in the face of uncertainty, keeps the energy alive. It sends a message to the universe that you are unwavering in your belief, that you are willing to wait and trust until the moment of fruition. This steadfastness aligns you with the frequency of your desire, making its manifestation inevitable. Quitting also stems from a lack of connection to the deeper why behind your dreams. When your purpose is clear, when your vision is fueled by passion and alignment, it becomes easier to endure the waiting period. The energy of your why sustains you through the moments when progress feels slow or non-existent. It reminds you that every great creation requires time and that your role is to remain faithful to the process. The act of quitting often comes from impatience, which is born from a focus on external results rather than internal alignment. When you shift your focus inward toward the belief that you are already aligned with your desire, you free yourself from the need to see immediate outcomes. You come to understand that the process itself is just as important as the result, and in this understanding, patience becomes natural. So do not let frustration or doubt rob you of your manifestation. Trust in the process. Trust that the seed you've planted is growing, even if you cannot yet see it. Commit to nurturing it with your belief, your patience, and your unwavering resolve. For every seed has the potential to blossom, but only if you allow it the time and space to do so. When you refuse to quit, you honor the divine timing of creation and open yourself to the abundant rewards that await. Life is a continuous process of unfolding, guided by unseen forces that work tirelessly in your favor. Yet trusting this process often requires a leap of faith, for the outcomes you seek may not be immediately visible. This trust, however, is the foundation of all creation. It is not blind optimism, but a deep, unshakable knowing that life is orchestrating events, circumstances, and opportunities to align with your highest good. To trust the process of unfolding means to let go of the need for immediate results and to rest in the assurance that everything is happening exactly as it should. The belief is the key to unlocking this trust. Many live by the adage, "I'll believe it when I see it," but the truth is the opposite. You must first believe it to see it. Your belief sets the stage for what unfolds in your life. It shapes your perceptions, aligns your energy, and creates a pathway for the unseen to become seen. Trusting the process, then, is an act of belief, a declaration that even without visible evidence, you know that all things are working together for your good. This trust does not mean passivity. It is not about sitting idly by, waiting for life to happen to you. Instead, it is about active faith, taking inspired action while releasing the need to control every detail. When you trust the process, you step into a dance with the universe, allowing its rhythm to guide you. You plant seeds of intention, nurture them with your energy and focus, and then step back to let nature take its course. This balance between effort and surrender is where true power lies. The process of unfolding often takes you through phases of uncertainty. You may find yourself in the middle of a situation that feels unclear or even chaotic. In these moments, it can be tempting to doubt the process, to question whether things are truly working in your favor. But consider the caterpillar in its cocoon. From the outside, the transformation appears messy, even stagnant. Yet within, a miraculous process is taking place. The same is true for you. Even when the path seems uncertain, trust that growth and alignment are happening beneath the surface. This trust requires patience. In a world that celebrates instant gratification, waiting can feel like an act of resistance. But the greatest creations take time. Just as a tree does not grow overnight, neither do the dreams and desires you hold within. Trusting the process means honoring the timing of life, understanding that delays are not denials but divine alignments. Every moment of waiting is an opportunity to strengthen your belief, refine your vision, and prepare yourself for what is to come. Doubt is the greatest enemy of trust. It creeps in when the visible world does not match your expectations, whispering that your efforts are in vain. But doubt is merely a reflection of the ego's fear of the unknown. When you trust the process, you quiet these doubts by shifting your focus inward. You remind yourself that the unseen forces guiding your life are far more powerful than any temporary setback. This inner assurance allows you to move forward with confidence, even when the outcome is not yet clear. Trusting the process also involves releasing the need for control. The human mind often seeks to dictate every step of the journey, thinking that control ensures success. But true trust recognizes that there is a higher intelligence at work, one that sees the bigger picture and knows the best path to your desired outcome. When you let go of the need to micromanage your life, you make space for this intelligence to operate. You become a co-creator with the universe, allowing its wisdom to lead you to greater heights than you could imagine on your own. This trust transforms your perspective. When you believe that life is always working in your favor, you begin to see challenges as opportunities, delays as preparation, and detours as necessary steps toward your destination. You no longer resist the unfolding but embrace it, knowing that every experience, whether joyous or difficult, is part of the grand design. This mindset not only brings peace, but also accelerates the manifestation of your desires as your energy aligns with the flow of life. Trusting the process of unfolding is about surrendering to the magic of life. It is about believing that the universe is benevolent, that your dreams are valid, and that every step you take is leading you closer to their realization. You don't need to see the entire path to take the next step. You don't need to see the evidence to believe in the outcome. When you trust the process, you open yourself to the infinite possibilities that lie ahead. You step into a state of flow, where the unseen becomes seen and your life unfolds perfectly, exactly as it was meant to. The true transformation begins with the realization that your reality does not shape who you are. Instead, who you are shapes your reality. Many people fixate on the external, on getting, acquiring, or achieving, but the real power lies in becoming. When you embody the state of the person who already possesses everything they desire, the world must conform to reflect that inner state. The secret to manifestation is not in chasing after outcomes, but in aligning your identity with your vision. This shift from getting to becoming is the key to unlocking the life you dream of. The essence of becoming lies in alignment. To embody a desired state means to think, feel, and act as though you are already living that reality. This isn't about pretending or creating a facade, it's about stepping into the energy of the person you wish to be. When you internalize this state, you send out a powerful signal to the universe. This energy draws experiences, people, and circumstances that align with your new identity. The external world, then, is nothing more than a mirror reflecting your inner transformation. Focusing on getting implies lack. It creates a sense of separation between you and what you desire, reinforcing the belief that you do not yet have it. This belief keeps you stuck in a cycle of wanting and striving. But when you shift your focus to becoming, you step into a state of wholeness and abundance. You no longer operate from a place of need, but from a place of fulfillment. This subtle yet profound difference is what turns intentions into manifestations. Becoming requires a deep commitment to self-concept. You must ask yourself, who is the version of me that already has what I desire? How does this version think, act, and feel? What choices do they make, and what habits do they cultivate? By aligning your present actions and thoughts with this future version of yourself, you bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be. This process isn't about forcing change, but about allowing it to unfold naturally as you step into your new identity. It's essential to recognize that becoming is a state of being, not doing. Many people equate effort with results, believing that more action will lead to their desired outcomes. But true alignment doesn't come from endless striving, it comes from embodying the energy of your desires. When you feel abundant, opportunities for abundance flow to you effortlessly. When you feel loved, relationships that reflect that love appear in your life. The universe responds to who you are, not what you do. This shift from getting to becoming also requires letting go of attachment to outcomes. When you focus solely on getting, you often tie your happiness to a specific result. This attachment creates resistance, as it signals to the universe that you are incomplete without the thing you desire. But when you focus on becoming, you step into a state of trust and detachment. You understand that the external manifestation is simply a byproduct of your inner state, not the source of your fulfillment. This trust allows the universe to deliver in ways that are often beyond your imagination. The practice of becoming also brings a sense of empowerment. When you rely on external circumstances to feel a certain way, you give away your power. But when you embody your desired state, you take control of your reality. You no longer wait for the world to change, you change yourself, and the world follows. This realization frees you from the limitations of circumstance and places the power firmly in your hands. Becoming is not an overnight process, it is a journey of self-discovery and alignment. It requires consistent awareness of your thoughts and emotions, as well as a willingness to release old patterns that no longer serve you. Every time you consciously choose to embody the state of your desired self, you strengthen your alignment and bring yourself closer to your vision. Over time, this practice becomes second nature, and your external reality begins to shift to match your inner state. The power of becoming lies in its simplicity. Instead of chasing after things, you focus on embodying the essence of what you desire. You become the person who already has it, and in doing so, you attract it effortlessly. This process is not about adding something to your life, but about uncovering the truth that everything you desire is already within you. When you align with this truth, the world cannot help but reflect it back to you. You are no longer a seeker, you are a creator, shaping your reality from the inside out. The essence of this journey lies in alignment, trust, and becoming. Instead of chasing after outcomes, forcing circumstances, settling for less, or quitting in frustration, we are invited to step into a higher understanding of creation. Life is not something to be manipulated or controlled, it is a reflection of who we are within. By focusing on becoming the person who already has what they desire, trusting the process, and embodying patience, we unlock the power to shape our reality. Every thought, emotion, and action serves as a seed for the life we are creating. The key is to honor yourself, believe in your worth, and allow the unseen forces to work in your favor. Trust that the unfolding of your life is divinely orchestrated, even when you cannot yet see the results. You are the creator of your reality, and when you align with your true self, the world will mirror your inner transformation. Thank you for allowing this message to resonate within you. Trust the process, embody your desires, and remember that everything you seek is already seeking you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a real conversation today about a phenomenon that leaves many puzzled. Why do men return after no contact? You see, when someone walks out of your life, it's easy to think it's the end of the story. But let me tell you something, sometimes the silence speaks louder than words ever could. When men retreat, it's easy to misinterpret their silence as rejection or indifference. But more often than not, their withdrawal has little to do with you and everything to do with what's happening within them. Men retreat because they need space to process their emotions, sort through their thoughts, and confront their feelings. This isn't a sign of weakness or avoidance, but a fundamental part of how many men navigate their inner world. Unlike women, who might seek connection and conversation during times of emotional turmoil, men are often conditioned to deal with their emotions internally. Society teaches them to carry the weight on their shoulders, to figure things out in silence, and to emerge with solutions rather than sharing the burden. When life feels overwhelming, be it stress from work, personal challenges, or the weight of a relationship, they may pull back, not because they don't care, but because they need solitude to reset and reflect. This retreat can feel confusing to the person on the other side. You might wonder what you did wrong or why he suddenly seems distant after everything felt so connected. But it's essential to understand that this pulling away is rarely about you. Instead, it's his way of untangling his emotions and finding clarity. He's not abandoning you, he's recalibrating. And it's in this space of recalibration that something powerful happens. He begins to see things differently. When a man is away from you, he starts to feel the absence of your presence. The moments you shared, the laughter, the support, and the connection, all these things begin to come into sharper focus. In the quiet, he can evaluate what truly matters to him. And often it's during this time that he realizes the value you bring into his life. Value isn't just about grand gestures or romantic moments. It's about the small, consistent ways you show up, the way you encourage him when he's down, the way you make him feel understood, the way you challenge him to be better without tearing him down. These qualities aren't always recognized in the moment. Sometimes it takes stepping away to fully grasp their significance. Absence has a way of amplifying appreciation. In the day-to-day hustle of life, it's easy to take someone for granted. The routines and familiarity can blur the unique qualities that make a person special. But when a man retreats, he has the opportunity to see you through a new lens. He starts to recognize what he's been missing, and with that recognition comes a growing desire to return. Men return because they see value in what they had and what they could have again. But here's the key, that value isn't something you have to prove or chase. It's already within you. You don't need to beg for his attention or try to pull him out of his retreat. Your worth speaks for itself, even when you're not in the room. The space he takes to process his emotions allows him to understand what truly matters. And when he comes back, it's often with a renewed sense of clarity and appreciation. He's not returning out of guilt or obligation, he's returning because he recognizes your irreplaceable value in his life. In these moments, the most important thing you can do is remain true to yourself. Don't lose your sense of self-worth waiting for someone to figure out what they want. Trust that the right people will see your value without you having to prove it. And when they do return, you'll know it's because they genuinely see and appreciate the unique light you bring to their world. Absence has a remarkable way of reshaping how we perceive and value the people in our lives. When someone is constantly present, their qualities, contributions, and energy can become part of the background noise of our everyday existence. We get used to their presence, and often it's not until they are no longer there that we begin to realize just how much they meant to us. This phenomenon is not about love or care diminishing over time. It's about how human nature can take the familiar for granted. When a person steps away or creates distance, it disrupts the rhythm we've come to rely on. Their absence is like a missing piece of a melody. We notice the silence where their notes once played. This creates a space, and in that space, respect and appreciation begin to grow. Without the distractions of constant interaction, there's an opportunity for reflection, and it's during this reflection that clarity emerges. In relationships, whether romantic, familial, or platonic, absence challenges us to confront what life feels like without the other person. It's in their absence that we start to recognize the subtle ways they contributed to our happiness, comfort, and growth. Maybe it's the way they always made us laugh, their unwavering support during tough times, or the simple but powerful reassurance of their presence. These things, so easy to overlook in the moment, come into sharper focus when they are no longer immediately available. This phenomenon isn't limited to relationships, it's a universal truth. Imagine visiting a place you love or enjoying a favorite meal every day. Over time, the excitement or appreciation may wane, not because the place or meal has lost its magic, but because its constant availability has dulled your awareness of its uniqueness. Now imagine stepping away from that experience for a while. When you return, it feels fresh, special, and meaningful again. Absence has allowed your appreciation to renew itself. When someone is absent, it also gives us the space to evaluate their role in our lives without the influence of ongoing interactions. We start to see them not just as they are in the moment, but as they are in the broader context of our lives. This perspective often leads to a deeper respect for who they are and what they bring to the table. This principle is particularly powerful in romantic relationships. When one person creates distance, whether by choice, circumstance, or necessity, it can shift the dynamic. The person left behind has a chance to reflect on the relationship without the noise of daily interactions. They may begin to see the qualities they took for granted, the sacrifices made, or the ways their partner enhanced their life. Respect grows in this space because it's rooted in a deeper understanding and recognition of value. Absence also offers an opportunity for growth. When someone steps away, it's not just about what the other person feels, it's also about the individual who creates the space. By stepping back, they may be prioritizing their own growth, well-being, or clarity. This act of self-respect can inspire respect from the other person, as it shows strength, independence, and a commitment to personal values. Of course, not every absence leads to amplified appreciation. If a relationship is built on shaky foundations, or if respect was never present to begin with, distance may simply reveal what was already lacking. But when the connection is genuine and meaningful, absence has a way of highlighting its importance. Absence is a powerful teacher. It teaches us not to take people for granted, to cherish the moments we have, and to value the unique qualities others bring into our lives. It creates a mirror for both individuals, reflecting what truly matters. And when absence amplifies respect and appreciation, it often leads to deeper, more meaningful connections when the time comes to reunite. When a man returns after a period of no contact, it's rarely a random act. His decision to re-enter someone's life is often driven by unresolved feelings and unfinished emotional ties that refuse to fade. Relationships, whether short-lived or long-term, leave impressions on the heart and mind that cannot be easily erased. These impressions, built from shared experiences, emotions, and moments of vulnerability, create bonds that linger even when words are left unspoken and paths seem to have diverged. For many men, unresolved feelings are not something they confront immediately. Men are often conditioned to suppress emotions, to avoid showing vulnerability, and to focus on moving forward. But emotions have a way of resurfacing, no matter how deeply they're buried. When a man pulls away or breaks contact, it doesn't mean he has fully processed the relationship or the feelings that came with it. Instead, it often means he needs time to step back, reflect, and understand what those feelings mean. During this period of reflection, memories and emotions tend to bubble back to the surface. The mind has a way of revisiting moments that mattered, whether it's a meaningful conversation, a look that spoke louder than words, or the feeling of being understood in a way no one else could replicate. These memories create a powerful pull, and the more unresolved they feel, the harder they are to ignore. Unfinished emotional ties can stem from a variety of things. Sometimes it's the lack of closure, a conversation that was never had, an apology that was never given, or an explanation that was never shared. Humans crave resolution, and when a relationship ends without it, it leaves an emotional door slightly ajar. This open door becomes a reminder of what was left incomplete, and for a man, it often becomes an invitation to revisit the connection, even if it's just to find clarity. But it's not just about closure, it's about the emotional investment made during the relationship. When a man shares parts of himself with someone, his dreams, fears, joys, and vulnerabilities, it creates a connection that isn't easily severed. These ties act like threads woven deeply into his emotional fabric. Walking away doesn't mean those threads unravel, they remain intact, tugging at him when he least expects it. Time and distance have a unique way of intensifying these feelings. When a man is no longer in the relationship, he has the space to evaluate it from a distance. In that space, he often starts to see the bigger picture. He remembers the moments that mattered, the qualities that drew him in, and the ways the relationship made him feel alive, understood, or supported. Even if the relationship had its challenges, the positive aspects tend to stand out more starkly in hindsight. It's important to understand that when a man returns, it's rarely because he simply misses someone. Missing is superficial compared to the depth of unresolved feelings. His return is often a way of seeking answers not just about the relationship, but about himself. He's trying to understand why he feels the way he does, why certain memories won't let him go, and why the connection feels unfinished. In some cases, his return is also an attempt to rekindle what was lost. The emotional ties that bind him to the past make him wonder if there's still something worth salvaging. Perhaps he's realized the depth of the bond he shared, or maybe he's come to terms with his own shortcomings and wants to make things right. Whatever the reason, his return is rarely without emotional weight. For the person on the receiving end, understanding this dynamic is crucial. A man's return is not necessarily an indication of permanent change or a guarantee of a successful reunion. It's a reflection of unresolved emotions that he needs to confront. How that unfolds depends on both individuals and their willingness to address what was left unfinished. A man's return is a testament to the power of emotional connections. No matter how much time has passed or how much distance has grown, feelings that are unresolved and ties that are unfinished will always have a way of pulling him back. It's a reminder that emotions are not easily silenced, and the heart often seeks resolution in its own time. The power of self-worth is one of the most magnetic forces in human connection. When you focus on yourself, investing in your growth, happiness, and purpose, it creates a quiet confidence that radiates outward. This energy doesn't demand attention, it simply draws people in like a light shining in the dark. Those who once overlooked you, doubted your value, or took you for granted will inevitably feel the shift. They may not even understand why, but they'll sense the change and they'll feel the pull. Self-worth begins with how you see yourself. It's not about external validation or the approval of others, it's about the relationship you cultivate with your own heart and mind. When you prioritize yourself, your goals, your peace, and your well-being, you signal to the world that you value who you are. And when you value yourself, others naturally start to see that value too. Focusing on yourself doesn't mean shutting others out or being selfish. It means recognizing that you are the foundation of your own life. If that foundation is shaky, built on insecurity, doubt, or the need for external approval, everything else will crumble. But when you strengthen that foundation with self-respect, self-love, and a clear sense of purpose, it becomes unshakable. And an unshakable person is impossible to ignore. There's a reason why people are drawn to confidence. Confidence is not arrogance, it's the quiet assurance that comes from knowing who you are and what you bring to the table. It's not needing to prove anything to anyone because you've already proven it to yourself. When you carry that kind of energy, it becomes magnetic. People want to be around those who exude positivity, strength, and independence. When you focus on yourself, something incredible happens. You stop chasing. You stop chasing approval, attention, and relationships that drain you. Instead, you channel that energy into becoming the best version of yourself. You set goals and work towards them, not to impress others, but to fulfill your own potential. You cultivate your passions, take care of your body and mind, and find joy in your own company. This shift in focus from outward to inward transforms your entire aura. People notice when you stop seeking validation from them. They notice when you no longer hinge your happiness on their presence or approval. This change can be unsettling to those who once held power over your emotions. When you pull back your energy and direct it inward, you create a vacuum, a space where they used to take you for granted. And in that space, they begin to feel your absence. This doesn't mean focusing on yourself as a strategy to get others to return or pay attention to you. True self-worth is not about manipulation, it's about transformation. It's about becoming so aligned with your own values and desires that you no longer need anyone else to complete you. The irony is that when you reach this place of independence, others will naturally gravitate toward you. The pull they feel isn't about your appearance or status, it's about your energy. It's the quiet power of someone who knows their worth and isn't afraid to stand alone. It's the attractiveness of a person who has boundaries, standards, and the courage to walk away from anything that doesn't serve them. That kind of strength is rare, and people are drawn to it like moths to a flame. Self-worth isn't just magnetic, it's transformative. It changes how you see the world and how the world sees you. When you focus on yourself, you don't just pull people toward you, you pull opportunities, success, and happiness into your orbit. The power of self-worth is limitless, and it all starts with you. When a man returns after a period of no contact, it is often because he feels safe to express vulnerability without fear of judgment. For many men, vulnerability is a deeply guarded part of their being. It represents their inner fears, emotions, and doubts, parts of themselves they've been conditioned to suppress or hide. Society often teaches men to equate vulnerability with weakness, leading them to build walls around their emotions. But these walls are not impenetrable. They exist to protect, not to isolate. When a man finds someone with whom he can lower his guard, it creates a powerful pull that draws him back. When a man pulls away, it's not always because he lacks interest or has stopped caring. Sometimes it's because he's grappling with emotions he doesn't know how to handle. He might feel overwhelmed by expectations, unsure of how to communicate his feelings, or afraid that revealing his vulnerabilities will make him appear inadequate. In these moments, distance becomes a coping mechanism, a way to retreat and protect himself while he processes his emotions. But over time, he begins to recognize what was lost. He remembers the way he felt when he was with someone who truly saw him, someone who accepted him not for his achievements or his facade, but for the person he is underneath. That memory of emotional safety becomes a beacon, guiding him back when he's ready to face his fears and open up. Creating a space where a man feels safe to express vulnerability requires patience, empathy, and a deep understanding of human nature. It's about listening without interrupting, offering support without pressuring, and showing compassion without judgment. It's about being present and allowing him to share his emotions on his terms, without trying to fix him or force him to fit into a predefined mold. When a man senses this kind of acceptance, it gives him the courage to explore his emotions more openly. Vulnerability is not an easy state for anyone to enter, but for men who have spent a lifetime guarding their feelings, it's an especially significant step. To express vulnerability is to risk exposure, and to risk exposure is to trust that the person on the other side will handle it with care. This trust isn't built overnight. It's nurtured through consistency, authenticity, and mutual respect. A man needs to know that his moments of weakness will not be used against him, that his fears will not be dismissed, and that his emotions will be met with understanding rather than disdain. When this level of trust is established, it creates a bond that is both profound and enduring. When a man returns under these circumstances, it's not just because he misses you, it's because he recognizes the rarity of what he had. He's drawn back by the memory of feeling safe, valued, and unjudged. He knows that in a world where vulnerability is often met with resistance, he has found a place where it's embraced. This recognition doesn't erase past challenges or guarantee future harmony, but it's a powerful foundation on which to rebuild trust and connection. A man's return is not just a reflection of his feelings, but a testament to the power of emotional safety. It reminds us that vulnerability is not a weakness, but a bridge to deeper understanding and love. When a man feels safe to express his true self, it creates a connection that can withstand the trials of time and distance, a connection that he will always be drawn back to, no matter how far he strays. Timing is an undeniable force in life, shaping our experiences and decisions in ways we often don't fully understand until later. When it comes to relationships, timing plays an even more critical role. Sometimes it's only through the experience of losing someone that a person realizes their true worth. This moment of clarity, however painful, has the power to transform not only how we view others, but also how we view ourselves. When we're in the thick of a relationship or connection, it's easy to take things for granted. The comfort, the presence, the shared moments, they can blend into the background of our lives, overshadowed by daily distractions or personal insecurities. But when that person is no longer there, a void is created. It's in that emptiness, that absence, that the truth becomes glaringly obvious. The little things, their laugh, their kindness, their understanding, suddenly become monumental. The things we may have dismissed or undervalued take on a new, profound significance. Losing someone can act as a wake-up call, shaking us out of complacency. It forces us to confront the parts of ourselves that may have contributed to the loss, the inability to communicate, the fear of vulnerability, or the failure to appreciate what we had while we had it. This realization isn't immediate, it often unfolds slowly, like a wound healing from the inside out. At first there's denial or even blame, but eventually there's reflection. And in that reflection lies the recognition of what was lost and why it matters so much. For some, this realization is tied to growth. Losing someone can highlight the gaps in their emotional maturity, their ability to connect, or their willingness to prioritize another person. It's a painful lesson, but it's also an opportunity to change. Growth rarely happens in comfort. It's the discomfort, the longing, the regret that drives us to look inward and ask ourselves the hard questions. What could I have done differently? What did this person bring into my life that no one else could? How can I honor their worth even in their absence? For the person who left or was left behind, this can be a deeply empowering moment. Losing someone may feel like rejection or failure at first, but over time it becomes a reminder of their own worth. Their absence becomes their power. It's a statement that says, I will not stay where I'm not valued, and this act of walking away, of choosing themselves, often ignites a shift in the one who remains. It's only then, in the stillness of solitude, that the full weight of their loss is felt. Timing is everything, because sometimes people aren't ready to see what's right in front of them. They may be distracted by their own fears, insecurities, or ambitions. They may not have the emotional capacity to appreciate the love and value being offered to them. But time has a way of revealing what we were blind to before. As the days, weeks, or months pass, clarity emerges. The space left by that person grows louder, more undeniable, until it becomes impossible to ignore. This recognition of worth doesn't always lead to reconciliation. Sometimes the person who left has moved on, grown, and decided that returning isn't in their best interest. And that's okay. The lesson remains. The person who took them for granted learns the importance of appreciation, respect, and timing. They carry that wisdom into future relationships, knowing now what they failed to grasp before. But sometimes, timing does come full circle. The loss serves as a reset, a moment to reevaluate priorities and behaviors. It creates a foundation for new growth. And if both people are willing and able to align, a second chance can emerge, one built on mutual understanding and a deeper appreciation of what they almost lost forever. Losing someone to realize their worth is one of life's harshest yet most transformative lessons. It reminds us of the fragility of human connection and the importance of being present and intentional in our relationships. It shows us that worth isn't always seen in the moment, but is often illuminated by its absence. And it teaches us that timing isn't just about opportunity, it's about readiness, awareness, and the courage to act before it's too late. The loss may hurt, but the growth that follows can be profound. It's a chance to not only recognize the value of another, but also to recognize the value of love, respect, and gratitude in every relationship moving forward. Timing is everything, because in the end, it reveals what truly matters. And sometimes losing someone is the only way to truly see them. Relationships and connections are often shaped by forces beyond our immediate understanding. Timing, self-awareness, and the depth of emotional bonds. A man's return after a period of absence is rarely random. It is driven by realizations about value, safety, and vulnerability, often brought to light through distance. Whether it's recognizing your worth, reflecting on unresolved feelings, or understanding the rarity of emotional safety, these moments of clarity are powerful reminders of what truly matters in human connection. Remember, the key is always to focus on yourself, your growth, and your self-worth. By doing so, you create a magnetic pull that naturally draws the right energy toward you. And if someone returns, let it be on the foundation of mutual respect, understanding, and a willingness to grow together. Thank you for allowing me to share these thoughts with you. Stay focused, stay strong, and always know your worth.